Some paintings emerge with care, while others with fury. This one was born out of the wind, the salt, and the roar of the southern sea. Ksamil, with its turquoise water and raw coastline, didn't just ask to be painted, it demanded it. Unlike my portrait of Tirana, structured, layered, and nostalgic, this was wild and free. The brush didn't glide here, it attacked and danced. But to understand why this painting came alive the way it did, you need to follow the journey south, toward forgotten fortresses and sun-drenched coastlines, toward the wild heart of Albania, where nature, color, and culture blur into one. And you won't believe what I caught here. We leave the pulse of Tirana behind and head south, where flat roads stretch like ribbons until, and without warning, the land begins to rise. Hills roll into mountains and suddenly the scenery shifts. Our first stop is Tepelen, where something magical awaits. Uiftot, which translates to cold water. Locals say the icy spring doesn't just cool you, it resets you. As soon as we arrive, the heat of the road vanishes. In its place, a crisp breeze, roaring cascades, and a view that feels pulled from a fairy tale. Legend has it, this place is blessed by mountain spirits, and as the water rushes past, you really start to believe it. We stop for a late breakfast at Hotel Uiftot Tepelen, a hidden gem perched at the edge of a cliff with sweeping views of the river Drinos below. As if the view wasn't good enough, the food was also impressive. Farm-fresh eggs, hand-pressed cheeses, savory mini sandwiches, and the kind of orange juice that tastes like it came straight from the sun. I usually skip juice back in the States, but here, you'd be crazy to pass it by. There is something sacred about simple ingredients served with care, surrounded by untamed beauty. What more could you possibly need, except maybe a second helping and a moment or two to let it all sink in? And those waters below? Ice cold, even at the peak of July. Next time, I'm coming back here, not just to gaze from above, but to wade in, dive deep, and feel that mountain energy firsthand. With no time to waste, we're back on the road, chasing sunlight, stories, and whatever surprises Albania throws our way. And yes, in case you're wondering, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. That is a real taxi. The road hugs the cliffs as we wind our way into Sarand, a coastal jewel strung like a necklace along the glittering Ionian Sea. Just across the water from Greece, the city shimmers with a mix of old-world charm and fresh coastal energy. I'm struck immediately by the hills, how whitewashed buildings cascade down like sunlit dominoes toward the water. It feels cinematic, like a place you've dreamt of, but didn't know quite existed. Walking here? A pleasure. You zigzag through shaded cafes, stumble upon murals, and catch the scent of grilled seafood and salt in the air. The beaches in Sarand, right at the foot of the city, are pure relief from the midday heat. Shimmering turquoise, gentle waves, and plenty of room to stretch out and breathe it all in. What was once a sleepy little port has transformed into a Mediterranean mosaic, Greek and Albanian, ancient and modern, all beating together in one unforgettable summer rhythm. And of course, no proper beach day is complete without a little taste of fun. We grab a light lunch and get more than what we bargained for with a legendary Turkish ice cream shell. Just when you think you've seen it all, Sarand delivers another twist. Sometimes, in the middle of the journey, comes a pause, a place to breathe, a moment to ask myself, what am I hoping to find here? A new memory? A story? Or something I haven't named? There's still so much ahead, sun-drenched beaches, a fly rod waiting, and the sound of ruins speaking to the past. But first, Ksamil, where land meets myth. A place whispered about for its surreal beauty. We were headed to Plaži Pasturave, Mirror Beach, famous for its calm, crystal clear water, a place where the sea supposedly reflects the sky like glass. But when we arrived, there was no mirror, only movement and chaos. The sea churned like a living creature. The wind tore through the cliffs. The waves crashed against the rocks like they were trying to reclaim them. And you know what? I loved it. This wasn't the postcard perfect ksamil that people post about on Instagram. This is something deeper, wilder. The cliffs looked like jagged bones of ancient giants, torn and weathered by time. The water wasn't tranquil, it was electric, like blue fire, whipped by the wind, and didn't just blow, it howled in color. Right then I knew I needed to paint this. No, not the calm, but the chaos, the raw primal energy of what I felt like standing on that beach. Back in the studio, I didn't approach this piece with precision or a plan. I let instinct take over. The brush didn't glide, it struck and twisted. Layers built quickly and impulsively. In ksamil, everything is wild. Cliffs like bones, water like fire, wind like a scream. Painting this was not about peace. It was about pulse, movement, and conflict. It was about letting the spirit of a place come through without resistance. In the end, this piece isn't just about the beach. It's about letting go of control, embracing the wild unknown, and allowing the chaos of the journey to shape what you create. If ksamil is Albania's wild heartbeat, untamed, roaring and alive, then dhermi is its softer side, elegant, serene, and touched by grace. Where ksamil felt like a storm, dhermi felt like a dream. Not just a beach town, but an exotic retreat carved into the cliffs where the Ionian Sea kisses the soul. We stayed at the Empire Beach Resort, and let me tell you, this wasn't just luxury, it was refined isolation. A place where wild nature and thoughtful design met like lovers. The crashing waves were our soundtrack, and this picturesque rocky beach truly felt like paradise on earth. That night, we wandered into town, down Shëtitoria e Plazhit, the beach promenade, and fell into the rhythm of local life. I tried every type of fish I could find, but what I didn't expect was a revelation in dessert form. Pistachio tiramisu. One bite, and I was speechless. I'm not exaggerating when I say it was divine, so perfect, so layered, that I refused to eat tiramisu again for the rest of the trip. Some flavors are meant to be immortal. After days on the road, we needed this. Rest, a pause, a deep breath. And this place delivered it in every sense.
There's just one last thing to do.
The next morning, just after sunrise, I crept down to the shore, gear in hand. Now you're probably wondering, Alex, did you seriously bring your fly fishing gear all the way to Albania? Yes. Yes, I did. I packed it carefully, squeezed it into my suitcase, and dragged it through 3 airports on the off chance that the sea might call. And that morning, it did.
We're gonna give it a shot anyway. This way I can tell Kyle Ale that I did it. Alright, I'm gonna get all wet here. Here's what I'm using. I don't have a good setup for salt water, but I'm using something that's going to imitate a live bait, like a streamer here, swimming away. We'll see what we catch.
I knew my freshwater setup wasn't ideal. This was more of a symbolic cast, a whisper into the sea.
I mean, really need to get far out there, which is hard to do.
And that's the thing about fishing.
I think that was
It's
a rock.
never just about the catch. It's about the stillness,
Felt like I got hung
the
up
surrender, the hope. But something unexpected happened. I noticed I wasn't alone. 6 Albanian policemen stationed at a military post next to the resort had come out onto the ledge watching me. Curious, amused.
Hey, ma bëni qipe dorë me kamerën këtu. Huh?
One of them eventually came down to the rocks
Shëndet.
and we started talking.
Mirë. Jeve? Mirë. Si e keni emrin?
In that moment, I realized something.
Kam 20 vjet parë.
I may not be good at catching fish, but I am good at catching people. And the words of Jesus to Peter rang in my heart. From now on, you will be fishers of men.
Well, I did it. I came out here, beautiful, beautiful morning. I did not catch any fish, sadly, but I had an amazing time. And now I can say to Kyle AL that I did it. I got to meet some new people, made a new friends, Lorenzi. And what an amazing place. Dhermi does not disappoint. This is the place to come for beautiful scenery, beaches. The water is crystal clear. It is breathtaking. So I had a wonderful time. Thank you, Dhermi.
After that spiritual little encounter, I returned to the resort, heart full and stomach empty. Breakfast tasted even better after standing in the sea with strangers turned friends. Then came the perfect finale to a perfect morning, beachside rest. The waters in Dhermi are something else. Cool, deep, crystalline, like liquid glass that refreshes the spirit. We stretched out in the shade. For once, no rush and no plans. And for the first time, and only time on this trip, I pulled out my sketchbook and pastels. Just me. The silence and soft lines drawn under a lazy sun. It was so therapeutic. Before turning north, we made one last stop, Butrint, an ancient city half claimed by the earth, yet still breathing and whispering of empires long ago. Here the stones tell stories. Ancient Greeks and Albanians once carved grand theaters into the hillside. Romans built their marble baths. Byzantines raised basilicas whose arches still reached for the sky. Now it's all silent. The applause has faded. The water in the old fountains has stilled. I stood in the center of the amphitheater, where thousands once roared with excitement. Now my only audience was the wind in the trees and the rustle of leaves against stone. It felt like time itself was holding its breath. Butrint is more than a ruin. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site that has sheltered human life since prehistoric times. Every era has left its mark here, layer upon layer, like pages in the world's oldest journal. It reminded me of something I can't shake. Beauty is fleeting, but when you carve your story into stone, your voice can echo for millennia. After hours of walking, the hunger hit us hard. The kind that makes you daydream about food while your feet keep moving. So when we heard our next stop was something special, we didn't waste a second. We sped through Vlorë, a stunning coastal city in its own right, and headed inland toward Restaurant Ardenica, tucked away near Fier. I thought we were just stopping for lunch, but no. What was waiting on the table was more than a meal. It was a challenge. Frog legs. I'll admit, I hesitated, but after the first bite, crisp, tender, kissed with lemon and fresh herbs. It was like chicken had gone on a Mediterranean holiday and come back with a more interesting personality. And that's Albania for you. Just when you think you know it, it flips the script. It offers you something unexpected, a taste that lingers long after the plate is gone. Frog legs may be rare here, but in some rural corners of Albania, they're a quiet tradition. Pan-fried, seasoned simply, and served with a squeeze of citrus. And in that moment, sitting there in the warm hum of the restaurant, I realized sometimes the best part of a journey is the dish you never saw coming. My final destination on our journey south was far from the least. It felt like a soft landing after a whirlwind of color, movement, and discovery. Pogradec, nestled along the ancient shores of Lake Ohrid, was less of a destination and more of an exhale. A place where time drips slower, where the breeze smells of water and memory. We met up with Luli's family at Hotel Perla, perched right on the lake. And what followed was nothing short of a feast for the soul. Under shade, we gathered around a table filled with rustic Albanian comfort. Flaky burek with ripe tomatoes and onions, fire-grilled feta and peppers, creamy cottage cheese, pickled vegetables, tender lamb and golden potatoes.
So this is the burek again with the onions and tomatoes. This is my second piece. It's so delicious. Double layers right here with all the goodies inside. A little difficult to grab and eat, but it is crispy on the inside, soft and moist on the inside.
You will post this on YouTube.
I'm gonna post this, yeah.
But the crown jewel, a local treasure.
Okay. This is the traditional fish of Pogradec. We're gonna try it.
A fish found only in these ancient waters, grilled to perfection, served with quiet reverence.
Yum. Delicious, huh? Really good. Shumë mirë means like really good in Albanian.
I'll try the creme brulee. Let's see how good this is. This is one of my favorite things to eat when I was a kid. Caramel. And caramel. Yeah. And of course my favorite, cappuccino.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I have to have one of these. This is my go-to drink.
Yeah.
After the feast, we drifted toward the hotel's private beach, where the lake shimmered like glass. The water shifted with the wind, turning from sapphire to silver to stormy gray in minutes. We swam and laughed and let the day stretch out like a canvas.
Uno, dos, tres, no! Just be more!
This is the lake in Pogradec. It's such a beautiful, clear water, fantastic destination for any tourist. I'm gonna be coming back here. That's how good this is. Amadima! Aman!
We're having like a great time on the beach. And,
Bravo!
playing volleyball here.
Bravo!
We're having a great time. And
There are places you pass through, and then there are places that imprint themselves on you, like a fingerprint on your heart. Pogradec is the latter. As I reflect on this journey through the south of Albania, from the icy baptism of Uiftot to the vivid chaos of Ksamil, to the luxury meet wilderness escape of dhermi, the ancient echoes of butrint, the culinary surprise and fear, and the gentle calm of Pogradec, I realized I didn't just see these new places. I made new connections and discovered new parts about my culture. I let the places paint themselves onto me, and then I painted them back. Each brushstroke in my studio now carries a heartbeat from this land. The crashing sea of ksamil, raw and blue like fire. The elegant stillness of dhermi, captured in soft pastel tones. South Albania didn't just offer me landscapes to admire. It gave me moments to remember and colors to carry home. And so, I leave with a full heart, salt on my skin and stories in my sketchbook. But something tells me this won't be my last goodbye. As the southern shores fade behind us, a new journey begins. Join me next time as we travel north into the wild heart of Albania, where legends are carved into stone and every path feels ancient. This is a land of deep valleys, towering cliffs, and timeless stories. A place where the mountains don't just rise, they command. We'll meet the people who call this place home, eat what they eat, hike where they hike, and feel the pulse of the Alps underfoot. And in the middle of it, I'll do what I came here to do, paint it. Not just the view, but the feeling of being small beneath greatness. Look for this next chapter of the journey, coming soon.